Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Long time no car vlog. So I'm out running errands right now, and I'm getting tweeted at a lot today about this whole new development, this new movement on the Snyder Cut. What's going on with it? What's happening? Where do we stand? What's going on? Well, apparently it's kind of like this from what I can gather. A few months ago, Q1 2020, Snyder actually screened a cut of Justice League for Warner Brothers executives. Now, this is where the story gets a little bit murky, because I honestly can't tell you what to believe. Multiple people are saying multiple things, and at this point, I don't know, and I don't want to sit there and look, there's people out there that I wouldn't mind kind of sticking a bit of a fork in and going, hey, you're done talking about this, you pedantic a-hole D-bag. But at the same time, I'm also, I can't say that. I don't think the journalistic integrity part of my brain would allow me to do that. So I have to play a little bit of devil's advocate. You guys are going to have to bear with me on this one. So essentially, it's like this from what I can gather. There was the screening. Some Warner Brother executives called it absolute dog crap, and it would never, ever, 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 ever see the light of day. And that is something that does kind of feel in line with the brass at Warner Brothers. It does. Those people have been actively campaigning against Snyder for a very long time. They have been doing everything they can to push him out, because the leadership at DC Films is terrible. Under Kevin Tushihara, they screwed Zack Snyder multiple times. This is known. This is absolutely fact. This is truth. So it does feel like whatever remnants left over from his reign might be anti-Zack Snyder. But the new people, man, they're getting ready to launch a pretty big streaming service here in a couple weeks, and they don't have a lick of anything decent coming out when it launches, maybe outside of Looney Tunes or something. But really, there's not a lot going on with HBO Max right now, and they need a big win. They need a big, bold, this is coming to HBO Max headline that people are going to lose their crap over, right? That you're going to find a whole bunch of fanboy panties drenched with this kind of news. And that could be the Snyder Cut. We've been saying that for a long time, that it would be the best course of action for them to release the Snyder Cut on HBO Max. Now, when it comes to that story of the meeting and everything else, there are some people there, like Peter Kureta, that I haven't seen say the whole story, but is alluded to on Twitter that there's more to the story, more in line with what Andy Signore is saying about them saying that the pilot, that the cut was dog crap. That is what Peter Kureta is kind of hinting at, although not coming outright and saying anything. But after his whole attack on Joker last year, I take everything that dude says with an absolute suppository-sized grain of salt. And we're talking full-on jumbo burrito at Taco Bell suppository size. That's how big I take that. Because he is anti-DC, in my opinion. He has been for quite some time. And quite frankly, I don't put a lot of stock in what he says, even though he did break a couple scoops for, Mandalorian and whatnot, but I honestly don't think that it was him. I think he just took credit. If I'm being honest, I think it's that. However, they're saying that. Now, another guy is saying that it's exactly the opposite of that, where the people who hated the Snyder Cut, they're no longer at Warner Brothers in any position of power, and they're bitter and they're spreading anti-Snyder propaganda, but that the AT&T executives liked the movie and have secured its funding. Now, that to me feels like a damn pipe dream, if I'm being honest with you. That to me feels one of those elements where you're like, man, I want this to be real. I want this to be true. I want this to be the reality that we find ourselves in. I would love for it, but it's been so long. I'm not ready to to go and wait, ring the bell and wave the flag and toot the horn and say, we've won. We've won. Right? Haven't done that. Can't do that just yet. Let me get a sip of my drink here. And that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at on the whole subject. I don't know what's going on. But there's movement. As there's always movement. And people like to sit there and say, because keep in mind, go back to 2017 when talks of this first started percolating. And there's all those, the Snyder Cut doesn't exist. The Snyder Cut doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at all, period. You're all just a bunch of loser fanboys if you think it exists. Because remember, they said that for a long time. And then it was, well, it exists, but it's not in a usable edit. And then they kind of shifted the narrative. And now apparently it exists and it's been screened for Warner Brothers. So it's like, you know, I mean, like, we kind of know now that the media narrative of the last couple of years has shifted so terribly, or so fundamentally one direction, that they are just absolutely, like, they don't know what to do. So they're playing both sides, it feels like. I feel like some people are playing both sides, and some people are financially incentivized to attack at Andy Signore. 100% financially incentivized. Blandy Andy doing his nonsense as usual. But hey, here's the thing, is a lot of other people have been covering this for years, and they are way more trustworthy than good old Blandy Andy. So, you know what? I'm going to take their word for it, at least more than his at this point in time. But because Kureta has said something, maybe there's a bit more weight to it. I just want to be, I'll be fair on that front. While I may not like the news, I'll be willing to at least grant it some semblance of possible reality, because it does come in from a person who, ideologically speaking, would be absolutely against Andy Signore 100%. So that's something you got to look at there too. But in the meantime, I don't know where any of this goes. Now we just get to wait and see. But I want to hear your thoughts on this one. I want to hear your opinions on this one. What do you think is going on in the world of the Snyder Cut? Is it coming? Is Warner Brothers involved? Is AT&T looking at this now going like, hey, it's a cash cow. We can milk this mofo, cause we need it, because we're kind of hurting. Honestly, if you want my honest opinion, the pandemic and the lack of original content, really a lot of good original content for HBO Max at its launch, is one of the things that's heavily fueling this. If these sequences of events didn't happen, I don't think we'd be anywhere near this level in the conversation. But obviously, Zack is good at playing the game. He knows how to wait. He knows how to bide his time. He's been doing that. He's been building a massive Snyder army on the internet of fans who are dedicated to seeing his vision come to light. And I think now it's, it's moving. And like I keep saying to people, there's so much smoke. There's so much smoke. There's gotta be some damn fire. If there's no damn fire, then we're all high on some crap supply. I'll tell you that. But no, too much smoke for there to be no fire. 100%. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions down below in the comment section. I want to hear them. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, hit up on Patreon, all that jazz. I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day. Peace the hell out.